March 6 will bring a drastic shift in your values. You'll need to change how you spend money and how you relate to others. Your old ways simply won't work anymore. This is a critical turning point where your relationship with money, your interpersonal connections, and your core values will all undergo a major transformation. Today, you'll talk about how to understand the tide that begins on March 6, the key points to navigate it successfully, and the important precautions you need to take. On March 6, Venus, the planet ruling money, relationships, love, and beauty, will move from Pisces to Aries. A huge happy birthday to anyone born on March 6, or anyone with a March birthday. May the coming year be wonderful for you, and I'd be delighted if you leave a comment saying it's your birthday. When Venus transits to a new zodiac sign, the quality of your relationship with money, your interpersonal bonds, love life, and aesthetic sense will shift distinctly. This is exactly when your values change. This is no mere planetary movement. It's a moment when the standards by which you measure what you want from money and relationships are redefined. After all, money and human connections are two of the most important things in life, and this Venus transit holds immense significance because it impacts both. In Western astrology, Venus governs the following: how you spend money, your core values, the emotional distance in relationships, love, partnerships, aesthetic awareness, and a sense of comfort. To put it concretely, what you choose to spend money on, who you invest your time in, what you find joy in, and what kind of relationships make you feel at ease. All of these fall under Venus's domain. In short, Venus represents your criteria for making choices. It also influences broader societal trends, consumer behavior, the mood of romantic relationships, the nature of fashion and trends, and what gains popularity. That's why the shift of Venus is an incredibly tangible change in the overall vibe of life. So what was the era of Venus in Pisces like? Pisces is a sign where boundaries dissolve, filled with the gentle energies of empathy, emotion, idealism, and unconditional love. During Venus's time in Pisces, people tend to fall into certain patterns, offering support to others almost instinctively, spending money on a whim, struggling to say no, being unable to cut off toxic relationships, piling up subscription services, and letting vague situations drag on. This isn't a bad thing by any means. It was a time when kindness and compassion spread far and wide. But it was also a period when it was easy to lose touch with your true feelings, pushing yourself to the limit, even when you're exhausted, continuing with things you no longer need, just because it feels easier. That's the hallmark of Venus in Pisces. Now, what will the era of Venus in Aries bring? Aries is the sign of new beginnings, ruling impulsively, decision-making, self-assertion, and acting on the spot. Starting March 6, the energy of the world will shift in an instant from Pisces' soft, empathetic mode to Aries' sharp, self-focused mode. From now on, life will become much simpler. If you like something, go for it. If you don't, walk away. If you want it, buy it. If you don't need it, cut it off. Society as a whole will also follow this tide. Impulsive spending will rise. Short-term, fast-paced romances will become more common. Brand loyalty will grow clearer, and people will embrace self-expression more boldly. So what specific value shifts can we expect with Venus in Aries? The biggest one is that you'll finally get clear on what you truly like. During Venus in Pisces, you might have liked something just because everyone else did. But with Venus in Aries, the feeling of "I like this" will become incredibly strong. Your spending habits will also change. You'll stop wasting money on trivial things, focus your investments on what you really need, and avoid buying anything you're on the fence about. Your interpersonal relationships will transform to vague, unspoken connections. Won't last. Hiding your true feelings will lead to friction, and forcing yourself to fit in with others will reach its limit. In short, this is a time to reevaluate the emotional distance and dynamics in all your relationships. Value sorting has officially begun ahead of the solar term shift. And this is exactly it. Now, at part of yourself, what should you avoid doing during Venus in Aries? Steer clear of wasting money on meaningless things, continuing with situations you dislike, sitting on the fence, and constantly changing yourself to please others. Aries is a sign of directness. Any vagueness on your part will manifest as conflict and friction. Aries is also a sign of immense drive and action, which means impulsivity will be amplified. You'll be prone to acting on reflex or making decisions based purely on emotion. So this is a key point to watch out for. There's a big difference between making quick, decisive choices and being short-tempered or reckless. It's crucial to act with calm intention, not just ride the wave of momentum. This channel shares ways to align your luck with the calendar and cosmic flow, plus how to make the most of critical moments in time. If you enjoy this content, please subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I'd really appreciate it. Next, what should you do during Venus in Aries? Here are the key actions. Write down the things you truly desire. Clarify who you want to spend your time with. Reevaluate any unnecessary contracts or commitments, and start expressing yourself, even in small ways. Aries is the sign of new beginnings, so perfection doesn't matter. Taking action first is the priority. This is how you ride the tide of Venus in Aries. Right now, we're in an extremely important period just before the solar term shift. As I've talked about in a series of recent videos, the solar term shift is a time when the cosmic energy of the year resets. It's vital to decide who you want to spend time with, what you want to spend money on, and what you truly like before this shift happens. Venus entering Aries is the switch that kicks off this preparation. It's time to reselect what you've let grow vague and unfocused, driven by empathy and emotion, swept along by those around you, and choose with intention. This is your chance to redefine your values ahead of the solar term shift. Now, let's go over the key precautions for the period of Venus in Aries. When Venus enters Aries, your decision-making speed for all things related to love, money, and relationships will skyrocket. Aries symbolizes impulsivity, action, and self-assertion, so this will be a time when you judge what you like and dislike faster than usual, and you'll crave clarity in all things. That said, this powerful energy comes with a few important caveats. Beware of impulsive spending. Aries is a sign that acts the second a desire arises. You'll be more prone to buying things on a whim, making impulsive purchases, and rushing into big-ticket financial decisions. If you're unsure about a purchase, take a step back and give yourself time to think. It's crucial. Watch your temper in relationships. Aries is direct, so you'll be more likely to speak your mind immediately, struggle to hold back your feelings, and get angry on reflex. Being too hasty with quick decisions can lead to unnecessary short tempers, which is extremely dangerous. Impulsive words will easily cause friction in your relationships, so be extra cautious. Avoid making decisions too quickly. Aries energy is all about moving fast, and while this is a strength, it also means you might jump to conclusions when you don't have all the facts, or when you haven't thought things through calmly. For important decisions, make time to pause and ground yourself. Rushing into a choice can lead to regret later on. Don't become too self-centered. Aries values personal will and autonomy, which is a wonderful trait, but if you push your own pace without considering the other person's perspective, your relationships will quickly turn confrontational. It's important to hold fast to your own intentions while also respecting the viewpoints of others. In summary, Venus in Aries is an incredibly powerful period. You'll get clear on what you love. Your drive and action will surge, and new relationships and values will begin to take shape. But be sure to watch out for these three pitfalls: impulsive behavior, emotional outbursts, and hasty decisions. The most important thing is to act with intention, not impulse. So, as Venus moves from Pisces to Aries on March 6, what actions can you take to thrive in your work and financial life? The key is to choose with intention. During Venus in Pisces, we were often driven by empathy and emotion. So you might have found yourself continuing with things just because it felt like the right thing to do, even if it didn't align with your true self. But when Venus enters Aries, the energy will shift completely, and it will become vital to get clear on what you really want to do, what you find valuable, and where you want to invest your time and money. Here are actionable steps to ride this wave. Take the initiative to pursue the work you want to do. Cut back on unnecessary expenses. Share your strengths and talents with the world, and avoid spending money on anything you're unsure about. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, the pioneer, the one that starts the race. Perfection isn't required, and small steps are more than enough. The key is to take action on your own terms. During this period, action beats waiting, and choosing with your own intention beats changing yourself to fit others. This is what will steer your work and financial luck in a positive direction. In short, the way to ride the wave of Venus in Aries is to consciously shift from an era of going with the flow to an era of choosing with intention. Ride the tide from vagueness to clarity.